Welcome to Keep Trucking Personal. I'm Tyler Keevy, a third-generation trucker, and my purpose is simple: to make sure the definition of trucking doesn't get lost in the culture this industry is drifting toward. This podcast is about real stories, the hard lessons, and the standards that built this business long before apps and algorithms. If you believe trucking is more than freight and its responsibility, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to Keep Trucking Personal. This is part 3 of our series. And last week I kind of kicked off just talking about fuel prices and how high they've got. And now we're starting to get some warmer weather. And if you didn't notice, there's some big primetime media focusing on chameleon carriers. And chameleon carriers are kind of trucking companies that trick the FMCSA by buying authority and creating pop-up companies and that don't put the work in like we talk about every single week. And so if you haven't had a chance to check that out, go look up 60 Minutes and look up the trucking series, or the trucking episode, I guess you'll call it, and inform yourself a little bit about it, because it is interesting. This trucking industry is getting strong, and the backbone of it is coming back to the American trucker. And man, I'm excited. There's so much going on in the trucking industry right now, and I feel like this summer is going to be something that nobody can predict how it turns out, what happens. I mean, with fuel prices high, with demand being high, specifically the flatbed side is doing phenomenal right now. And then you buckle up all of this against getting rid of drivers that are foreign or not safety approved for this industry and driving them out. Man, it's going to get exciting. And so I'm really pumped up for it. I'm really excited. This summer, right after our kids get out of school, I'm going to go work in Duluth for 6 straight weeks. Super pumped for that too, because I just love spending time with everyone up there. We have the best group of people that run this company. And so getting to work shoulder to shoulder with them is something I look forward to, even when it's one day, let alone 6 weeks. So look out what's coming this summer. We're going to hammer it, and we're going to put all this stuff we talk about into action even more. So super excited. Back to part 3 of this series, Stand Firm and Act Like a Trucker. If you haven't noticed, the last 2 episodes, they hit home for me, and it lands hard because it's family that really drives what pushes us forward. It's what gets me going every single morning. And we started with the stand firm, right? Have a no excuses, take ownership mindset. That's something that we're lacking in this industry. And like I said, it's moving towards that with the way this industry's headed from all the things economically happening around it. So this is the right time to get your mind right. So take ownership. And then we talked about do the job right last week. And man, that one is truly about details matter. And you have to get rid of the shortcuts mindset, and it'll be okay. All of those things we all say, we need to start getting rid of them and exiting them from our vocabulary. And today we're going to close it out with something a little bit bigger, which is the definition of act like a trucker. And because this isn't just about how you drive, it's about how you carry yourself. It's the mindset you walk into this job with. And when you step out of that truck, even though there's a big opinion of you when you're driving it, when you step out of that truck, people are forming an opinion about you and about your company. They look at you, they look at the truck, they look at the way your load is secured, they look the way you carry yourself. And that's what they do every single time. So if you think it's just the one customer that you have to put on a show for, you're wrong. They're always judging you. And now some might say, who cares what others think? That's not how we look at this. That's not how trucking gets through the storms. You have to be prepared, and you have to buckle in, tighten the belt, put the waistband on, and say, it's my time now. And you represent everyone. And so I feel the same weight on my shoulders when I go anywhere, that I represent every single driver that works at this company. I represent every single mechanic that works in our shops, and I represent every single person that works in our office to keep everything moving. It's my responsibility to make sure I represent you well, and so that people understand the work that we put in. It means a lot to act like a trucker. And there was a time when a trucker meant something, and I talked about it on a different episode of pumping your arm and getting the kids involved. That's a big deal. We get the opportunity at Kiwi. Every year we find something different, and whether it's touch a truck or we bring the truck to a school for a single 2-hour event and letting little kids get in there and experience what it's like to be around a truck, and the joy that it brings them is crazy. They love it. I love it. It's so energizing to see people get excited. And that's how we started. But back to what it meant to be a trucker is you were dependable, right? We know this already. We talked about it. You have to be able to show up. You have to be able to work on your own truck. You have to understand how to get the job done. You worked extremely hard. There wasn't an option. That's just like farming. You didn't get to come in and half-ass it. You had to go all the way every single time. And you handled your business. You did everything from top down, side to side, whether it's paperwork, doesn't matter, all the details, checking your truck pre-trips. And you respected the job. You respected the people you worked with. You actually respected the other drivers in the trucks. If you were a longtime driver, you can recall this simply by just saying back when the CB was used properly, there was a lot of communication on the truck. Looking good, driver, looking good that way. Actual communication and respect for each other. Now, it's almost like trucking companies don't even put CBs in trucks. Drivers don't know how to use them properly. They use them for the wrong reasons. They use them to talk negatively. That's not what it means to be a trucker. You have to take pride in it. And you have to understand it even boils down to how you park your truck at the truck stop. I can't say this enough. We've seen truck accidents happen in truck stops. And yes, you didn't do the accident. Somebody backed into you, or somebody hit you, or somebody cut the corner short and cut your hood off. But it goes down to how you parked, where you parked, your trip planning, all of it. You have a part in this. And that gets lost, right? It's gone. People don't think like that. No, that's not me. I was parked. I was sleeping. It doesn't matter what I did. You play a part in it. Act like a trucker and show it, right? And, let's make it simple. If the truck was yours, right? A lot of drivers want to own their own truck. But if the truck was yours, no matter where you work at, how would you treat it, right? Would you take care of it? Would you look at it as an investment and say, hey, this thing is how I put food on my family's table? Would you treat it that way? Would you leave it a mess every single day, or would you take time to clean it? Make sure everything's in working condition. Would you ignore just small issues and let it roll down the hill? Or would you say, I have to set aside time to take care of this? Would you beat on the equipment? Do you have a rough dirt road? Would you hammer on it and give it all you got just to get there as quick as possible? Or would you say, hey, if I take the extra time and go slow, I can preserve something on this truck, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Fenders, they come loose when you're rattling around. There's a million things. No, if you're trying to own your own truck and take care of it, you're going to keep it clean. You're going to stay ahead of problems, or at least try to do the best you can. And you'd respect the machine that puts food on your table. So why treat it any different now? That mindset matters. And you can have that mindset even if you don't own the truck. It's how you treat the equipment. It's the reflection that you get from that on how you treat the job overall. And you don't tell people you care about your job and then get away without acting it. You have to live what you say. People see it. And we see it in our shops. We bring the trucks in and we go to work on them. And sometimes it's amazing what this driver does. You're so impressed. You see the way they conduct themselves. You see the way they hang their chains in their headache rack. Their straps are rolled. Some people put rubber bands around their straps and make the difference. There's a lot that goes into it. And I've seen this play out over and over and over. There's two drivers, same truck, same load, same job. One shows up, truck's clean. He's prepared. He's professional. He's respectful. The other, disorganized, frustrated. He's trying to cut corners or maybe rush into it, just trying to get through the day. It's completely different outcomes. One builds trust. The other burns it. And so acting like a trucker doesn't mean being rude or hard to deal with. It means being strong and professional. You can be direct without being disrespectful. You can stand your ground without losing control, and you can represent yourself well even in tough situations. I see it all the time. That's real professionalism. That's what it means to act like a trucker. That doesn't mean you stop when you're off the clock. Okay? So now we've talked about when you're in the truck, when you get out of the truck to load. It doesn't stop when you're off the clock. How you carry yourself still matters. At a truck stop, customer location, home time, even when you're on a 34-hour break. I know that's your time. But remember, friends, you represent something bigger than yourselves. This industry has a lot of demons it points at drivers, and I know it. I see it. And that's what we've talked about before. It is hard to avoid that. There's so many flashing things at you, whether it's alcohol, this or that, and it's always something coming at you, right? And so you have to be strong and defend yourself and understand that this is your career. This is how you take care of your family, and you can't let those things win. Your reputation follows you big time in this industry. Every DOT you get, everything that happens, it's put on your record, right? So it's not just emotionally how you feel. It's real. It's actually a tangible piece of paper that we can print out, that you can print out, that goes with you for a long time. So just remember, act like a trucker. You have to live it. You have to want it. This is just bigger than you, right? It's bigger than you. This is something that you can build with everyone in this industry. And this is what has built companies. And this is what builds families in longevity. And it's what built this country. And whether you like it or not, friends, the way we show up today protects that. or it tears it down. Think about that. Are you bringing it up or are you bringing it down? And so wrapping this whole series up, part 1, stand firm with no excuses. Part 2, do the job right and execute at a high level, you guys. Part 3, act like a trucker and carry yourself the right way. That is the standard. And so at the end of the day, this job isn't just about moving freight. At least it's not for me. It's about who you are while you're doing it. And so take pride in that. Take ownership of it and treat it like it's yours. Because when you do that, you don't just do the job, you represent it the right way. And so thanks for listening to Keep Trucking Personal. If this series meant something to you, you guys, share it with someone who needs to hear it. We want this industry to thrive. Until next time, keep trucking personal. Appreciate you tuning in. If you got value out of this, subscribe and send it to someone who takes pride in the job. We're not just moving freight, we're shaping the culture. Catch you on the next one.